Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Talking Mons. It is our Digimon Adventure 2020 recap podcast. My name is JD, and of course, I am joined by Jeanette and Gary.
Hello.
Hiya.
And this week, we are going to be talking about episodes 61 and 62, A Place to Return to, and The Tears of Shakomon. So, we have a kind of mixed bag here, because we have one episode that is like really goddamn wholesome, and then we have an episode that is apparently waking up an ancient deity. Don't wake up an angry god. Guess is the lesson to be learned here.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go ahead and start with episode 61, The Place to Return to, which basically starts off with us having Tai and Agumon is reuniting with TK, who, if we all remember a while back, we were familiar. We were introduced to Eldoradamon, who is this giant fortress turtle. He's a goddamn kaiju, and apparently, so back when we were still on the Cloud Continent, we all remember that like Eldoradamon was carrying everybody, and then they ended up falling off the Cloud Continent because they were being attacked. So Eldoradamon has been desperately wanting to go back to his home on the Cloud Continent. Now, the Cloud Continent has crashed into a mountain, and Eldoradamon has been trying and failing because he's so goddamn huge. He keeps crushing the ground below him to climb up this mountain to get back onto his home continent.
Mind you, the Cloud Continent is not like on the same level as the regular continent. Like, it's literally the bottom of the continent that's connected to the mountain that's on the ground.
It's like the upside down mountain that was on the bottom of the Cloud Continent is now smashed into the top of a mountain on the regular ground.
So he's trying to climb up a mountain and then upside down and upside down mountain to get to the surface.
It's weird. So Tai and Agumon kind of come across TK and Patamon, and hey, Leomon and all his friends are here.
Leomon's still alive.
Yep, Leomon's not dead yet.
I think Leomon's actually going to survive the series.
I think he might actually survive this time.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, I'll got my fingers crossed for the old boy. But yeah, Leomon and TK are basically trying to help Eldoradamon, which honestly, it's this tiny little 6-year-old child literally pushing a mountain. I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but they're trying to help Eldoradamon get up the mountain because TK is just so goddamn full of hope that he's like, no, I'm going to help this giant turtle get back to his home. Meanwhile, all of these Digimon, who we find out in a weird, in a kind of a sad little somber moment, that the reason there's this crowd of Digimon watching this is because they are all Digimon that have been displaced after Millenniumon just like nuked the planet a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
So they're all just hanging out because they ain't got anywhere else to go. So they're just gonna hang out and watch this turtle climb a mountain. And it's weird because it's like all these tiny little cute Digimon, and then you have this guy called Gravimon who has like the gravity powers. He's like this weird, like, has a face mask, has wild hair, is all wrapped up in bandages and shit, and he's just floating in the air, just hanging out, whatever. He's not like really involved in the situation yet, but he's just kind of just hanging out. And yeah, so it's literally just about like TK inspiring everybody to help Eldoradamon get back to his home. There's no real fight in this. It's just, helping a turtle get home.
Yeah.
A little turtle that could.
He's a big turtle that could.
It was a really interesting episode. Really interesting episode. The one thing that bothered me is I swear like 1/3 of this episode was just recycled footage. But I thought what was there was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a shot every time you see Eldoradamon slide down the mountain.
Or the same footage of them tugging on the ropes. And...
Yeah. They sure got a lot of Leomon having that rope behind his back.
But
same foot getting on the ground.
Yeah.
But TK just do you have want to continue the summary, JD, or?
No, that was kind of the gist I was getting across.
Yeah. Well, there's this point where Gravimon just picks up TK and is like, why are you doing this? And TK's like, he's like, we have nowhere to return to. And TK's got, well, Darnsey, I have a time that I can't return to, and that makes me want the best. And I'm just like, oh, tears.
TK casually reminded you because from a divorced home.
Yeah, and he remembers when he lived when his parents were together, and he lived with Matt, and he's like, I can't return to that time, but I can sure get this turtle home.
This is my catharsis right here.
Yep.
No, it was just such a like. There's just been so much like battling going on, and like the last couple episodes have been like there's been battles, but they've also been kind of like fun, like with Rosemon at the Digimon school and Vikemon in the giant Viking battle. Like those have been like fun battles, but this is just like one of those like calm, like we're just trying to do a thing, and there's no bad guy to fight here. Like you keep thinking Gravimon's going to become an asshole, but he actually just like ends up helping him after they like show him the decency in people.
There's even those purple glowing haze around Gravamon. He's like, oh no, is he possessed or something like that?
No, that's just what his power looks like. It's just purple. But yeah, I like that like TK basically like inspires Gravamon to like hope again, because he's like, he's just like upset that like, look, dude, like everything I know has been decimated by a sky god. I ain't got anywhere else to go. Why do you have so much hope? And TK's got hope because he's 6 and doesn't know the hardships of the world. But
he does. His parents are divorced.
That's true. But he really earns his crest of hope this episode. His little Digivice even shines yellow.
And his mega flashes.
Yeah, we get the same kind of mega flash that Gatomon got a couple episodes ago. So we know that Seraphimon's coming eventually. Just when that's going to happen, who knows?
Probably in the final battle.
Probably, most likely. But no, but the like Eldoradamon finally makes it home. Even though like he makes it up the mountain and everyone's like, yeah, we did it. And then he like crushes the ground beneath him again, starts falling down the mountain again. But then Gravamon, seeing that like, people are worth helping, he decides to use his gravity powers to hold up Eldoradamon, and then Angemon uses his holy powers to give him wings.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was very touched.
It's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This show can sometimes be so simple yet still get me in the feels. Like really.
Yeah. It's just a light and fluffy episode. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a nice break, I guess, from all the shit that is probably going to be going down here soon. Someday. I mean, we only got a couple episodes left, so
next episodes are just filler episodes, and the last episode's the final battle.
Probably.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
We can talk about what's next and after the next episode, but
right, yeah.
I don't think it's filler.
No. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say about this one before we move on?
Nah, I mean, it's just it's really down to the writing, because there's so much animation. Yeah, I still really enjoyed it. It's just sometimes it's a little simple thing that makes a show great.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't always need to be Sunny Boy. You can just be a nice, simple, easy to understand anime.
Yeah.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at the Geekly Grind.
Alright, well I think that'll take us into episode 62, The Tears of Shakuamon. Y'all, it's been a minute since I've thought about this giant China doll dude.
It's been a moment since I've thought about Sora.
Oh yeah, by the way, Sora's back. He shows up again. So yeah, Tai is on his world tour again, his continuing world tour. It runs back into Sora, who is helping out this village, who is populated by a bunch of characters we've seen before. So the little fan Beemon shows back up from that episode where they fought the giant bee mecha in the sky. The little fruit seed spitting birds come back from that time that Greymon got turned into a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the little beaver, whose name I can never remember, he's hanging out there.
Are you talking about the safety first?
Yeah,
Yes.
safety first beaver, dude.
See, what I find fascinating is that he was apparently transferred to the farm. Like, I guess there's some Digimon bureaucracy that we don't know about who transfers
Probably
the Digimon.
It's somebody.
He's like part of the Department of Labor or something. And he's just like a freelancer that goes wherever they need him.
It's the
That's a good
OSHA
question.
inspector.
He's the OSHA inspector. I don't know if the Digimon world has OSHA.
I mean, maybe.
But if
it
we
is
do,
in the
this guy's
form.
in charge of it.
Yep. Safety first.
Yeah. But yeah, these guys have all come together and they're like building a thriving community. They've got like farming going on. They're building huts and stuff. And like, they're just building like this nice little community. And like, Ty's like, why did you guys choose to build it here? And he's like, well, just so happens that this area used to be looked over by a big ancient deity to like protect it and stuff. And like we thought we would like farm here and like give honor to it and bring back its power or whatever. We see shortly how much that comes to bite them in the ass, but
Yeah. A little more than they bargained for.
yeah. So Tai and Sora and their Digimon pals start helping out around the town, and it leads to them trying to pull up a stump.
A giant stump.
A giant stump. Which apparently takes the combined effort of like Greymon and Bergermon and like several handful other of Digimon to pull out this tree. But it turns out to be not such a good thing because apparently underneath the tree is the temple that Shikuamon, who is this giant like ceramic doll thing that if you watch Digimon the second season, you know is the fusion of Angemon and Ankylomon, which was always the most random fusion.
It was.
Like,
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
also looks like that one Pokemon.
Yeah, he does look like Claydol. He does look like whatever fucking Claydol evolves into. I can't remember.
No, it's like Baltoy.
Claydol is
right.
Baltoy is the little one. Claydol's the big one. He looks like Claydol.
I sure don't know my Digimon, but I know my Pokemon.
Yeah, man.
They're based on like these ancient Japanese pottery theory.
Yeah.
Like far into the past.
Yeah, it has cultural significance, but yeah, I've always thought that Shikuamon was a random fusion evolution because it's like Pyildramon, yeah, I can see how that works. Harpy or Sylphimon, I guess, but then like, okay, an angel and a fucking hammer-tailed dinosaur are gonna turn into this weird Japanese doll thing that like hardly moves, but
I think the idea is like the dinosaur represents the earth, and then you've got Angelmon, which is holy, so forms the holy clay doll.
I
That's
guess
just my
so.
thought.
Yeah. But it turns out Shikuamon, he goes on a flippin' rampage when he wakes up because because apparently back in the day he was trying to save
Holy War.
Yeah, back in the Holy War days, he was trying to save a village that was in this spot long ago, full of like these little angel-looking little monsters, and he was basically being attacked by all the evil Digimon. So he was shooting his eye lasers all over the place, trying to get him off. And basically, the little angel dudes are like, "Okay, you're kind of on a rampage. We're gonna try to stop your suffering, so we're gonna seal you away, and hopefully, whenever you wake up again, the land will be back in harmony or whatever." But basically, Shikuamon just wakes up full of PTSD and just starts lasering the countryside.
I don't even think it's PTSD. It's like more of like waking up from a coma. Like time froze for it.
Yeah, he's like he doesn't understand, or it doesn't understand that he's not under attack anymore. He still thinks the little bug dudes are all over him. So he's just laser in the countryside, completely destroying this village that they worked so hard on, and just like setting fire to the whole place.
Like he has stored targeting data that hasn't been processed yet, and once
Right.
you were awoken, he finished off all those sequences.
Yeah. But then like Sora like goes down into the weird temple area that he came from, and finds this doll that I assume I took that he was like sealed inside that doll. And that's where we kind of learn the whole backstory, because Sora has like a weird like memory flash in her brain. And she like basically tells Tai to like, hey, back off, we know how to fix this. And so we get to see Ho'oman again, and they uses her magic bird god powers to basically like tell Shakuamon to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, this has felt more like appropriate mega episode than the last one Sora was in.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Way
for
better.
sure. Yeah, like had they not done the episode that Ho'oman originally showed up in, and this was the first time he's seen it, I felt like this was way more deserving of it.
Yes, I agree.
And Ho'oman has this like mythical feel to the design, so it fits
Yes.
with this episode more.
Yeah, for sure.
Then, and when the little clay doll just starts crying, I'm just like bawling. I'm like, oh,
He's sad.
yeah, I'm sad too. This Digimon makes you cry a lot. It just does.
But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed this episode just because I liked seeing that the Digimon world, like, you know, even though some shit's gone down, like it's continuing to evolve, and like these characters are getting together and like forming society. So that was kind of interesting, and you know, obviously, I enjoy any episode that my children are involved in.
Yeah, Sora is just so gosh darn wholesome in this episode.
She's like, I love all of you, so I want to protect you. And
Yes.
like, that's so goddamn sweet and adorable.
And I love the moment where she's like, we may be the chosen ones, but we're supposed to do more than fight. It's like, Sora,
Yeah.
you're totally right.
Yeah, that was actually kind of a little profound revelation for them. It's like, you know, you don't always have to solve your problems with violence, even though you have giant hulking monsters that shoot lasers.
Yeah. I mean, Tai and Sora just bounce off at each other really well. And the Tai and Sora episode, like back on episode, I want to say it was 40, where the little birds appeared. It had this beautiful like watercolor thing at the end, and this one had a beautiful watercolor thing at the end. I'm like, I just love it. I just love those beautiful watercolor end shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish every episode had them.
That'd be nice. But yeah, so like the end of the episode is just like, okay, Sora's like, okay, I think you guys are good. Shakuamon's gonna hang out and not be crazy now. So, you know, we gotta go stop the calamity. So I'm gonna peace out with my boy here. And then they kind of just walk off into the sunset.
Yep. To go fight.
Go fight the calamity, which is, you know, it's gonna be happening soon. But
Oh yeah, that remembers another thing I want to touch on. Ty's realized that his device isn't pointing him to anywhere in particular.
yeah, that's the thing that it's been confusing me, and I think might be handled in the next episode. Is that like, it seems like everyone's been on a quest to like unlock the true potential of their quest, and for a lot of them that means unlocking their Digimon's final stage. Whereas Agumon hasn't had that problem because he has 3 final stages up to this point.
Yeah.
But I still don't think Tai has the Crest of Courage yet. So
No.
So he's the only one without a crest so far, which is weird because in the original show he was the first one to get it.
But how courageous does he have to be? Throughout all of these episodes, there has to be something that already proves his courage.
Well, he's gonna go on a test of courage, it looks like, in the next episode.
But yeah, I'm thinking that, like, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm thinking it's going to have to do with, like, because Tai has had all these experiences with the individual other kids, and it's gonna like culminate into something that's gonna be relevant to him getting his crest finally.
Yes.
So, like I said, I don't know if that's how it's gonna go down, but the next week episode is called The Crest of Courage, so I assume he will be getting his crest at the end. By the end,
It'll just be no crest. It's just a false flag. Getting us excited for nothing. But how, in all seriousness, I think the next episode is the last crest, and then the last 3 episodes will be the final battle.
most likely, yeah, because that's gonna be the culmination of the whole show. They gotta at least have 2 episodes, if not 3, to finish this out.
The 2 episodes might be the final battle, and the last episode is them getting to go home.
Yeah, man, when I really think about it, like, we haven't seen the real world in a long time.
Mm-mm.
I can't even remember the last time we saw the real world. And see, and I think that's maybe another weird thing that like I have about this show. And like, again, it's not really fair of me to keep comparing this to the old show because they're very vastly different at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But like the old show, we did spend a lot of time in the digital world, but we also had like an entire arc that took place in the real world, and that kind of helped divvy it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So but that's not really a bad thing for this. It's just different. So it's just trying to get into that mindset, I guess.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I think when I initially went into this series, I just thought that you go to the real world at some point, and it never happened. I was like,
yeah, you get all your real world stuff up like right up front, and then the rest of it's in the digital world. So, but that's just a different way to go, and it's been interesting so far. And I guess we'll have to just wait for the next couple of episodes to see how they kind of wrap this up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap up today?
No, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that'll do it for this week. We're getting down to the wire here, guys. We got 4 more episodes of the show and 2 more episodes of this show. So we'll definitely be finish this out to the finale, and we'll kind of see how it all ends. And I'm interested. I'm excited. Interested. I don't know. We'll see how
for the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, thank you for listening. Stay safe out there, and we will catch you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.